scoreboard.
Yeah.
Many times we've talked about this.
Yeah.
We had it's on, it's off, it's happening, there's temporary things. I think that's the last time I heard anything. It was going to be a temporary solution for 2022, even though we've had 2 years to sort this out. Is that true, and why?
Okay, let's go back a step. In 2017-18, the Chief Minister and the then DFE Minister, Lawrence Skelly, had a pretty much big vision that they wanted to develop the whole of the grandstand site, and that included the scoreboard, and it was around about 40 or 50 million pounds, a real big project, which would have really, it would have been, and I saw the pictures, they looked fantastic.
Would that have been knocking down the grandstand and starting again?
It would have been a complete redevelopment, but unfortunately we're now at times with COVID where finances are tighter. So going into 2018-19, we realised that the scoreboard was going to come down at 3 years, so that was 21. And what actually then happened is we then had to change our plans, so we needed to draft new plans to actually fit in with what the public consultation was that like-to-like feel of a scoreboard. So that's what happened. We went back to plans, we got those drafted. We obviously had to bring down the scoreboard for safety reasons in 2021, which is within the 3-year period that we were told within our safety report. Then what's happened is we then spent the last year or so trying to get funding from Treasury, and that is where we are at the moment.
You still haven't got funding?
Not yet. We've put a capital bid in.
Hang on. How can you not have funding for something that should have been done by the next year originally, right? What's gone on?
It's just we've put capital bids in. They have been rejected. We've put a new capital bid in. That's with Treasury for consideration. Once we get the capital funding, we will then have to go through planning, and our vision is to have this back in place by 2023, and there will be a temporary scoreboard in place for 2022.
This is just bizarre. This is something that, sorry, but really, you had 2 years off, and nothing has been sorted.
That's the business.
2 years.
That's the business process. You know, you put in applications, you put in tender bids.
Yeah.
And it's up to Treasury to accept or to reject. And now they've rightfully raised questions, which we've taken on board.
Were your plans too grandiose then?
No, it wasn't. It was exactly what we promised fans and locals, that it would be a like-for-like scoreboard with new technology. Basically 3 screens, 2 on the ends, 1 in the middle, in order to move forward with an event that now requires a digital element to it.
What's going to happen then this year? There's a cost to be met for some temporary arrangement. Is this going to be bringing in screens and then
it's basically a temporary one. It may, I'm not sure of the full details yet. We're actually busy looking at our options, but it could be a temporary screen which could be removed very quickly, and then hopefully in 2023 we will have the like-for-like structure that we promised people through the consultation.
What, so having a new house in, and there's a new Treasury department, you think there'll be more amenable to your
we've
plans?
answered the question the Treasury asked. We've put a new capital bid in, so we'll know once the budget is published if it's in there. If it isn't in the budget, which will be next February, then we'll have to look at those options again to see what we can do. But my own personal view is the actual scoreboard goes right the way back to 1907, even though it's changed many times over the years. It's part of the culture, the heritage of our event, and I desperately need a scoreboard, to be honest, because I think our team...
Do you really? Because
we do.
There's an app. There's every digital thing you can think of now. There's going to be, I think we're going to come on to the live side of it soon. You know, and once it's gone, and a year or so without it...
I think if our DFE motorsport team now work from the grandstand, and they are surprised by how many people turn up there throughout the year to have their photograph taken on the winning podium and next to the old scoreboard.
Well, it's a tourism thing, isn't it?
It is a tourism.
It's a picture to have taken. I mean, come on.
But it's a small
needed then?
The life expectancy of the new scoreboard will be 25 years to 30 years. It is a tiny investment for a long-term part of our TT strategy.
It's used, 4 times a year or something? I don't know, 4 weeks a year.
Yeah, it is, but it is part of the culture, the heritage of the event. I personally think it belongs as part of that event, and it should be replaced.
What else can you tell us about TT 2022? What's going to be different? What's cut back? What's innovative even?
Yeah,
Have you got some things?
Well, let's go through this. I have to use my notes because I've scribbled some notes this morning. I mean, since 2022, the DFE Motorsport team have pretty much done a root and branch review of everything related to the TT. So what we can see in 22 is a delivery of our first live broadcast via its own OTT channel, which basically is over the top. And what that basically means is most people would have used this system through Netflix. It's basically coming through the internet.
So everyone will be able to see this live.
Everyone will, but there will.
Around the world,
that's exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to capture a worldwide audience, but there will be a charge, and there will be a paywall somewhere
for everyone, including the other man.
Yes, as far as I understand. We've still got some details to go through, but it's a paid channel which people can access. We think the cost is minimal for what they'll be providing, but we will be putting on material all throughout the year.
So something like Amazon Prime, who very much gone to sport and they've all rights.
Very, very similar to the F1.
They don't buy rights, you give them all away.
Basically very similar to the F1, very similar to
But you
Netflix.
give it away almost.
Well,
in fact, more than that, you almost encourage them to take
further details will be published by our team.
It doesn't make you money, does it? Let's try that.
We're hoping that it will generate income. We're hoping it will generate income for which can get ploughed back into that event. Yeah. We're also launching our TT podcast. The first one will be available in January, so that's more details will follow on that. In 22, we're also looking at our new TT fan park, which will be in Nobles Park from 2022. More importantly, when we look at the event as a whole, we're introducing a new training plan in order to support our valuable marshals to make sure they've got the support that they need. We're also looking at details around the safety risk management of the event, and further details on that will also be given in due course.
Just two things there. First, let's do the safety one.
Yeah.
Every time there's "do not stand here" signs got more and more as there's more risk assessment. It's becoming harder, and rightly so. You'll say. Is that a threat to the future because you can't get up and close person?
No, this is more to do with the actual event, not the fans' areas. This is more to do with the bikes on the course. So there will be some tracking of each bike on the course. The clerk will have additional CCTV in order to have a visual look at the course. The helicopter will have improved safety on board. These are all things to take an event that's emerging every year. And every time there's an incident, we have a review and we have to bring back safety. Our riders are paramount to our event, especially when laps are getting faster and faster. Mm-hmm. We have to undertake this safety, and the team have done an amazing job to drill down to this to make the event safer than it can be.
Marshals make it safe. They're very much required, but we're always hearing that there's problems getting enough people here for the full 2 weeks. We often hear the last minute pleas for people to come forward. They're doing it for nothing. I think that, as you say, we've got full support behind the marshals. They are invaluable to this event. I think from the TT point of view, there's very rare that we don't get enough marshals. I think there is a shortage for marshals, normally for the Classic TT and the Manx Grand Prix. And we're working with the Manx Motorcycle Club and currently looking at the schedule for 2022, and hopefully we can announce that going into the new year, because that may change. But again, it's with their full support in order to actually package that event from a tourist point of view, but also from a marshalling point of view, to ensure that we can get the marshals that we need to run those events. Because without it, you can't do it. Absolutely. And that has constantly been a problem in the last few years. It has, but mainly just for the Classic and for the Manx Motorcycle Club's event, which is the Manx Grand Prix. But again, that review is ongoing. Hopefully we'll have an announcement in the new year. Media rights, back to that for 1 second. Will there be a radio TT, be it Manx Radio or somebody else operating it, or will it be just one person gets all the rights and then they do what is happening these days, like in Premiership football, they subdivide off those rights themselves? How are you going to tackle that? This is still very much an ongoing discussion at the moment. Even for next year, it's still ongoing. It is, because we're still looking at live broadcast, as I say. We're still looking at our media. What sort of media do we want? Who should present that? Almost certainly the Manx Radio or a local media company will be involved in some form of platform, but who those presenters are, how it's delivered, is still being discussed. And these TV pitches, will they be delayed or live? What are you going to do about I'm doing this from memory. Yeah. As far as I understand from speaking to the team, there will be a short delay. It's going to be quite nuts though if you're watching it, and it goes past you, but it won't happen for 10 seconds after you've seen them pass you in real time. I think given the event and the unexpected, what could happen, we do have to. And I think most of those live events, especially live sports, do have a small delay in them. Yeah. Looking forward to it, optimistic? See the VIP tent, meeting all the movers and shakers.
I'm looking forward to it. As I say, I think the DFE team have done an amazing job. They've done a route and ranch review of the whole event, and I'm hoping that we can come back bigger and better. Now, some of those changes will not be implemented until 2023, especially around a new race schedule. That will come in 2023. Obviously, we've got the new boat coming in. We've got a new ferry terminal arriving. So the overall experience and package that we offer to our TT visitors will improve over the next few years.
And just to wrap this, is the government 100%? I mean, I know you're not the government, but is your feeling that there is total commitment to seeing the TT run on for another 100 years or something? I know you can't talk that way.
I can't talk
about the near future.
For the very near future,
is there a commitment from the Isle of Man government, as far as you're aware, for a commitment to this
If we actually take something as simple as the safety, which as I've said has been reviewed, we are putting the longevity into the event, and this is why we are putting the safety processes in order for this event to go on for the next 10, 15, 20 years.